The Super Bowl in the NFC may soon have to go through Lambeau Field. And that set up this situation. The Packers can secure the #1 overall seed with a win against the Bears, while the Saints and the Seahawks also have a chance at a first-round bye. Now, Tampa's punched its ticket with the Rams, the Bears, the Cardinals, all in the mix for those final 2 wild card spots. But, man, is it tough to think about having to go into Green Bay and play and get to the Super Bowl through there. Let's bring in our guys again. And, Jeff, I want to start with you. Which team, if there is one, do you think in the NFC playoffs can go into Lambeau Field and beat these Packers playing the way they're playing right now?
Yeah, Ryan, it's a tough question, man. I mean, when you look at all the NFC challengers, I would probably say the Saints have the best opportunity. And why would I say the Saints? You know, you look at Kamara, can they get the run game started? They have a good offensive line. They can match up and pressure rush you with 4, and they can play decently against your group on the back end. The problem is with as well as Aaron Rodgers and this offensive line is playing. I mean, it's the offensive line for the Packers that I think ultimately are the difference maker. Not only are they protecting for Aaron Rodgers, they're running the rock. So when you talk about what do the Saints have to do, they have to be able to match that, keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, being able to establish their run. It is a tall task. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what anybody says, weather does matter. When you get to Green Bay, if it's a bad weather game, Tennessee Titans learned that lesson the hard way. These guys practice in it. They're accustomed to it. That's the kind of wild card that Green Bay gets to play with, having this home field advantage.
Yeah, weather matters. But, Marcus, I got to think, also matters Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, tell me about how cold it is, damn it, and all of the things that go on when you go to Lambeau. I've been there, and I've been there when it's cold. And I went up there with a really good team that we had that year with the Dallas Cowboys. That 8 degrees ain't scared me near as much as looking at 12 over there already knowing what the hell we was going to do on defense and just picking us apart and carving us up. So, yeah. To Jeff's point, the weather is a factor, and it could be beautiful when they play too. But the bottom line is this. You better be worried about Aaron Rodgers more than you worried about being cold. You better get in front of a heater. You better use them heated benches they have over there. You don't need to wear a bunch of layers, because when you sweat and get wet and that cold water just sit on you, you better be worried about 12. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter how cold it is. You're going to be left out in the cold and be able to go to the beach if you don't pay attention to him and you worry about the weather. You'll be somewhere on the boat. Maybe you want to be there early. But I know everybody in the playoffs trying to get to a Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers the problem, not the weather.
Yeah, just talking about the weather, by the way, is making me shiver right here in this studio. But, Dan, you talked earlier in the meeting about we meet before the show, and you talked about how the weather could be very interesting in this one. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, look, I mean, you expect it to be awful in January in Green Bay, and that's more likely than not, but it's not automatic. I mean, you could show up and get a 35-degree sunny day, which is kind of a great break if you're going to Green Bay in January. So that's not, I think the key advantages for the Packers, obviously to Marcus's point about Aaron Rodgers, the key advantage is if you get the 1 seed, you have a week off. You only have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, where everybody else has to win 3. So that more than where the games are played, I think that's the trick. If the Saints go into Lambeau Field and don't win, I think it's unlikely that the weather would be the main reason why. The Saints are certainly good enough, especially on defense, to handle that. The issue would be maybe they're a little more worn out because they didn't get the bye, and maybe Rodgers is just that locked in right now. But yeah, look, it's not ideal, but the bigger factor in getting the 1 seed this year is not the home field advantage as much as the rest advantage.
Now, go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead. Wait, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go.
No. Let me just say this. I'm hearing from a reporter and a defensive guy about weather. From an offensive guy's perspective, I am telling you, it makes a difference, bro. Handling that rock when it's snowing or raining, the only team that's one plays in a dome, one plays He's in one of the prettiest places in the
Right.
country in Tampa Bay. These teams, the only guys who feels comfortable going in this would be the Seattle Seahawks because they play in some trash weather. But look, I played with the Colts before I was a Packer. I played in there. Jim Moore came in there screaming at everybody about taking off our sleeves. We were freezing. It was raining. It was nasty. And we ended up losing by a point. I'm going to let you know, weather does play a factor. So whoever's playing them better hope it's sunny and pretty in Green Bay because y'all got a defensive guy talking about chasing somebody. I had to touch that thing. That hand hurts, feels different in that cold weather.
Yeah, it's all about your perspective. Look, I
point.
mean, it's a lot colder in the New Orleans Saints press box than it is in the Green Bay Packers one, because you're up near the air conditioners and it's not enclosed. So a little bit of a different situation, I guess.
If I could break it down, if I could break it down, like Jeff makes a great point because they handling the rock. It feels when it's that cold, I want to bring like everybody in that's watching. When it's that cold and you playing football, especially in the trenches, that first hit feel like you getting electrocuted. Like it feels like your body is going through the worst possible thing it can go through. Now, as the game goes along, you start to get better because your body warm up and all of that. But that first initial pop when you in that type of weather will make you determine if you really love playing football or not. I'm from Louisiana. Right. I remember when we went to Green Bay. I played in Green Bay in January. I played in Pittsburgh in January. It's been -8 wind chill, had it at like -1 before when I played. And I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when I got in that weather, I said to myself, it ain't no way in hell we supposed to play football in this type of weather. It is not even real. Like this, the body should not be subjected to that. So that's to let everybody know when Jeff Saturday tell you that weather matters, it absolutely matters, especially for those guys in the trenches, man.
I love it. Oh, you know what? And I feel the same way, Marcus, right now in the studio. It's a little bit